So, proof that politicians have too much power? Coming right up. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Common Sense, Logic, and Reason. And as always, I want to say thank y'all for joining me today. So, I've heard several people, many people talk about being against lobbyists, saying that we should make it illegal for lobbyists to be in DC, and that they blame lobbyists for a lot of the problems. And me, I say it's not lobbyists, it's the politicians. Politicians are the problem, not the lobbyists. You know, the reason why lobbyists exist in the first place is because politicians have entirely too much power to regulate and control industries at the stroke of a pen. And if politicians didn't have the power of such control, there would be no need to have lobbyists in DC in the first place. So if you take the power from the politicians, and the lobbyists will be out of a job. Okay, and there's numerous examples of how politicians pass legislation that can make or break industries, whole businesses and industries. And I would say in most cases, the people passing legislation have no knowledge of the industry. They just pass legislation because they believe there to be a perceived danger. Now, one specific example of this is the House Resolution 2864, and this is known as the Countering the CCP Drones Act, drones made in China. And this is also known as the DJI drone bill, the ban bill. And this was passed by Congressman Elise, I believe Stefanik is her name, Elise Stefanik. And she passed this bill, or this I think the bill has been passed in order to basically ban drones made in China. Now, the reason for this is that they believe that China is spying on us through drones, and this really hurts the interest of a lot of people because the DJI is the #1 drone manufacturer in the world. They have like 70% of the world's global market and 80% of the United States market. And many people depend upon their products for, recreation. People have jobs that they use drones with. You have first responders use drones to save lives, and DJI drones are just simply the best. They're the best drones. They're the most reliable. They're always updating their products constantly. They don't rest on their laurels. They're always putting out new drones, new models, and making their products better. So this ban is going to hurt a lot of people. Now, the whole purpose of this bill is because they believe that China is spying on us through information from the drones, or they get the information from the drones. The problem is that if you look at the information that's being gathered, it's basically telemetry data for the most part as far as DJI goes. It's just telemetry data. In other words, the GPS location of the drone, where the drone is flying, how high the drone is, the direction it's going, how fast it's moving, and so on and so forth, and various other data. And the reason why they gather this data is basically for warranty reasons. They have their warranty program, and if you buy a warranty, if you damage your drone, you ship it back to them and they'll ship you another one. Of course, after you pay a fee, of course. But however, if you happen to lose your drone, they will use that data to try to determine if it was pilot error or if it was equipment error, to determine whether or not they will basically make good on the warranty. And that's all that information is. But even if China had that data, what exactly how can they spy on us? I mean, there's been independent studies showing that this ban is ridiculous. It makes no sense. Absolutely make no sense. There's absolutely nothing that China can get from these drones, even if they have access to the photos and the videos that these drones capture. There's absolutely nothing they can get from these drones that they couldn't get from spy satellites. And to be honest with you, if I was China, I would be more interested in spying through all of these hundreds of millions of cell phones that's in America, that's produced in China, and all of the selfies that's being taken before I worry about a drone. They can get more information from these cell phones. Yet we're not banning the cell phones. Again, it just makes absolute no sense. And this is a perfect example of how politicians can make a break at the drop of a pen. And I think the power it just needs to be taken away from them. And really, truly, our founding fathers never intended to have full-time politicians to begin with, full-time senators to begin with. They need to go home and get a real job. I'm all for term limits, even though they'll figure out a way around that. So the only way that you can really, truly, we can ever get around this and address this is people have to be involved and constantly be eternally vigilant about what's happening in DC. But regardless, like I said, they just have too much power and it needs to be reined in. This is not a race thing. This is the channel dealing about issues facing black folk. This is not just a black thing. This is a thing for all Americans. The power just simply need to be taken from politicians. We need to get back to Constitution said because we far exceeded that. But anyway, y'all, that's my 2 cents on this. They just essentially have too much power. And as always, y'all, until next time.